it's a lot going on in this game and so many avenues that you want the shop that you got working on in the happiest position in the cars that they building. If they're building cars just for the money and it's not giving them the excitement and the joy, it's not going into your car. So your car being built off of frustration.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Custom Cars, hosted by TNT.
This is Terry.
And I'm Twin.
What we getting into today?
Well, today I want to talk about building a supercar.
Building a supercar, okay. What kind of supercar are we talking about?
One that's built out of all metal, that you fabricated, and you bend it, and you weld it, and that you made.
Okay. So what you trying to know about building a supercar? If I build it myself, what you trying to figure out on that?
I first want to know, what about making a front end car a rear end car?
It's very possible. It's been done before. I haven't done it. It'd be something dope. Now I feel like you're getting to something though.
Well, I had a lot of people inbox me and question me about it, so I want to ask you, and see how you feel about it and what you think about it.
Yeah, what type of car though?
They mostly Cadillacs, because that's the one where they trying to do the LS swaps in right now.
Eldorado?
Yeah.
In the Rivieras?
Yes.
That would be, man. It'd be a dope project.
I think it would too.
And whoever decides to do that project is doing something. I don't think too many people have done it. I've seen one where an old Coronado was switched around, but outside of that, it'd be a good look.
Now, they wouldn't be able to use that same chassis though, right?
No.
Okay, so they would.
You know what? I gotta see. Is that a chassis? Is that a chassis car or is it a subframe? It's a unibody car, right?
I think it's a unibody. We're gonna look back into that.
Yeah, we'll look into it, but I believe that's a unibody car, and we have to make a full chassis.
Okay.
I would say most people would probably start with like a G-body chassis, but we just do something completely from scratch and then just make the shell fit the chassis no different than what we were doing on some of the C10 projects that we've done at TNT Customs.
That's nice. I did see that C10 project.
Yeah. So an Eldorado rear wheel drive LS. Now you talking about big power LS or still swinging and banging?
Big power and swinging and banging.
That's a nice little combination. Because I always thought about a DeVille with big power, but the Eldorado, with the fact that it ain't supposed to be done that way, would make it even better because it's a front wheel drive cars.
Yeah, make the rear end.
Yeah.
Rear wheels span a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have to look into that because that'd be something that the car game hasn't seen, and it'd be good for the shop too, in that area for anything like that.
Next question.
Is this a question from you or the fans?
It's a question from me.
Okay.
A question from me. I'm trying to make sure I ask a valid question and not just any question. So
all right.
You got to give me a second and think a little bit while I'm, sitting there dwelling. But in the meantime, between time, let's talk about notching of the frames.
Okay.
Why is it important to notch a frame when you're putting big rims on the car?
It's not really necessarily of an importance to do it. It's the only way to do it. It's the quickest way and the least expensive way to do it. It's not something I care for very much because if it's not braced properly. I think the best way to do that is to actually do a back half kit or come up with some way to bring the frame rails in properly. Mm-hmm. But notching just takes away what you got to add a lot of metal to support it. But it's just flat out the only way you can do it without doing a wide body kit and having the wheels sit out beyond where the fenders and the doors is going to sit. So if you want them tucked, you got to cut the frame or do a proper back half.
Yeah, I think cutting the frame might be a lot more sufficient, stronger.
Cutting the frame is just easier.
Tuh.
That's the only reason why people cut the frame, is it just is easier. To do a proper back half and do it the right way is very hard, and you can't do it in your garage for the most part.
Okay.
So the quickest and easiest way to do it is to notch the frame and add a bunch of bracing in the back, and hopefully you don't get in a little fender bender or some type of little nudge that's going to cause that to move any. But it's not the proper way to do it.
Okay, well, he answered that question for y'all today, folks.
Okay.
Do not try to attempt to notch your frame or cut your frame back half your car in your garage. Bring it to shops.
Yeah,
Bring it to
I
shop.
would say recommend to bring it to the shop unless you really good with numbers and your measurements and stuff like that. If you want a real proper back half, you need to go ahead and bring it to the shop where be working on the frame only while it's in your own garage and know a lot of math to be able to do it. But yeah, no C notching and no notching and stuff like that. It's not the best way, but it'll work. It'll last for the streets. But start trying to put a little bit too much power behind it, then you wiggling and doing everything down the street that you don't need to be doing. You need to go straight.
Doing the G-body shuffle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got the question I want to ask is fuel injected a carburetor on an LS motor is fuel injected, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if you was adding nitrous to a LS3, what would be the guideline that you would go by to add nitrous? What would be some of the things you would have to change?
If I'm adding nitrous, I'm going to just go ahead and make sure I'm protecting my money that I'm putting into it. So everything will be forged internals. Go ahead and just spend the money. Do it the right way. Make sure you taking the time to gap your rings properly for nitrous so you don't have any issues in dealing with it. And then after that, you can go have fun. But when you're doing stuff and you kind of do it backwards or cut a little corner, that's when the major mistakes happen. So if you're gonna play the game, go ahead and play all the way and dig in your pocket and go ahead and do your motor the right way. Get your rings gapped right. Get bore, hone. Do everything that you need to do to be able to race. And if you're planning to make money, make it last as long as you possibly can.
Okay, y'all heard it first. Spend the money.
Yeah, you gotta come out the bag.
Cut no corners trying to add nitrous to your motor, or you will be back in the shop sooner than later.
Yeah, you can get nitrous and then you can start going fast real quick, but it's going to bring up some problems that nitrous is just going to bring up with a motor that's not built to handle nitrous. So if you want nitrous, build your motor the right way. If you want a turbo car or supercharged car, they all got their own little sauce packages that you got to get figured out to build them the right way so they last. And if you don't know the package, you gotta go somewhere and have them take care of that.
Right. Bring your car to the shop. Do not attempt to try that at home. Either sounds like it, folks.
That's like one of the parental advisories.
You can give it warning.
Warning.
Like a thunderstorm is coming. That's to prevent your car from blowing up on you.
Yeah, it saves some of that money. At least, if you're gonna spend that type of money and you planning on racing and doing all that stuff, you need to stretch it out. Especially if you just now getting started in it, you need to stretch that out until you can start making them races and doing whatever you need to do out on that track. I don't know if I asked you this ever before, but what was the reason why you decided to say TNT Customs was that lifestyle of that building cars that way? What attracted you to that before you even came down to the shop?
Man, let me answer this question without honesty. Okay, first and foremost, I had got up on TNT from me. I had a '69 Chevelle, and I was looking to have it completely restored, right? And I called the guy and I asked him, Terry, I said, "Hey man, are you taking any cars?" He was like, "Not at the moment, but it's a waiting list. You can send a deposit for the waiting list." I was like, "Okay, cool, snap." So when I called back around the time of the waiting list, he was like, "Well, still a little swamp." So I was like, "Okay." I said, "Well, hell, do you need any help down there?" He was like, "Yeah and no." Hey man, I'm just doing this. It was started as a hobby and it flourished into a business. I was like, "Okay, I can truly understand." He said, "Well, I'm gonna call you if I need some help." So I waited so long to where I started doing the work myself to my cars out of a shop on the south side. And once I seen I can half-ass do a little bit of it, I came on over to him. I said, hey, man, I want you to teach me everything you know. I want to pick your brain. And he accepted it, and man, the rest is history. I mean, like a sock in the shoe.
Yeah, well, what initially attracted you? What was it that you saw outside of the? Was it anything outside of the blue car, Miss Blue, that you saw that made you say, yeah, okay, yeah? A lot of people got attracted to that shop because
it was
of that
a
car.
black-owned shop doing his stuff. Excuse me, retake that. It was a black-owned shop doing the shit I like, and I came on over and I seen it. I wanted to be a part of that. It was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. A good brother doing some positive things. I mean, the atmosphere, the ambiance was cool, and I just said, hey man, I need to be a part of that. You know,
I wasn't expecting that answer, but I could appreciate that. I didn't know it was.
I
didn't know it was that deep on it, but I thought he was gonna say I bent a piece of metal that he didn't believe I could bend or something like that.
Nah.
Yeah, no, because I know a lot of people got attracted to the shop because of the Aero Coupe, but then quickly I stopped working on it. Quickly stuff switched
You
up.
said outside of the blue car.
Yeah, so outside of the blue car, I'm just like, what else has been going on? We got a lot of little stuff going on out here, but I'm just checking to see what did you see that I don't see that the other people are seeing down here that we got going on?
Man, it's really some dope shit being put together, guys. It's just bottom line. Anywhere where you can take a 2020 and turn it into a 60 or 71. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how the stuff we do down here at the shop, you see it on TV every day. You know, sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, I seen a project. One guys at the shop had did a trans tunnel for his transmission mount. Hell, I went home 2 days later and seen the guy on the motor trend.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same identical way he did it.
True.
Hello. So, you know, I mean, it's work being put in down here.
Yeah.
You know, it's work being put in.
All right. So, what else about? Is there anything about the card game that is either frustrating you or what makes you stay around in a card game? Like, what makes you wanna? I can change something in here.
Because I like seeing stuff being finished, and the end result is a joy. You know, I mean, staying around me changing the card game, I don't say I'm going to change it, but I'm going to put a big fucking footprint in it. You know, some of the stuff I'm building.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got some great ideas that I want to build, and I got a friend that don't mind trying stuff, so... I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, because like, if I was to answer that question, to be honest, I want to change the game. I see too many loopholes in this game. I see a lack of creativity in the game, and it's not trying to talk down on any other shop. It's just if nobody told you that car was done at XYZ shop, you would have to ask because everybody does their cars the same.
Yes, I see that a lot. Everybody do.
And I want to be able to build stuff that I don't even have to put that sticker on the window to say TNT Customs. You know, it's got to be done by one of them hot shops. And if you knew it was done in Houston, it's not that many hot shops out there. There is, but in comparison to how many just shops there are, and then the elite ones, you know that bill's gonna come from elite shop. I don't want to get lost. I don't want to get lost in the car show. I don't want to look like every other dunk out there, or every other G body out there, or every other car. I want something to be real unique and real different. And when people see it, they can say, "Man, them boys down there acting real bad."
And that's why we are at TNT today. We are come up with the No More Grinds.
Yeah.
Because we on to the next level of building cars.
Yeah, because I want to be in this game changing stuff and always doing what I say. I want to act bad in here. If this is the only place I can get to be tough, I want to be tough while I'm building these cars. Okay.
Amen. Before we end today's shows today, we're gonna let the fans pick a topic that we can actually talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Pick a let's talk about some more topics that's gonna pick our brains. What y'all want to know about out there? What do you want to know about the car world? What do you want to know about shop life, shop business? and what it really takes in the amount of hours or something like that, let us know what you guys need.
And now we will answer those questions here next time on Custom Cars. This is Twin
And I'm Terry.
of TNT signing off.
All right, y'all.
Good job.
Okay. Another question I had. How did you get into taking T-tops off of cars and doing them like that? What gave you the gumption to go ahead and just say, hey, I'm gonna try